in Regina this afternoon as we get set to wrap up Week 6 at Mosaic Stadium. The Riders looking to go 4-1 on the year and actually wrap up the season series between these two clubs with a victory today. Calgary looking to avoid a 1-4 start on the season. Huge matchup for both of these teams and a great matchup at one position specifically.
Yeah, both these teams play so tight and they play physical football against each other. That means it'll be won and lost in the trenches. That means it'll be the run game that we focus on. Dedrick Mills leads all running backs in yards per game with 91. And in fact, we've got 2 of the top 3 coming in this week. There's Jamal Morrow, who had 133 yards rushing against the Stamps a couple of games ago.
Of course, these two teams met earlier in the season. Craig Dickinson now 2-6 in his career versus his brother. A nice 3-1 start to the year for the Riders. Not so much on the other side for Calgary. 1-1 on the road, 0-2 at home for a 1-3 start. He has had success against Saskatchewan in his coaching career. Great crowd here in Regina, and we are set to kick things off. The second of 3 meetings between these two clubs. Battle of the Brothers underway in Regina, and this will be taken and brought up the near sideline, and stepping out of bounds at about the 35 is Clark Barnes for Calgary, and that is where Jake Mayer will get his first crack at it today.
8-8 as a starter in the Canadian Football League. So start number 17 for Jake Mayer. He's still real early in his journey out of UC Davis and has a winning record against Saskatchewan. Played against the Riders 3 times and is 2-1.
9 starts in 2022, won 6 of them. A little bit of a slow start so far this year for Jake Mayer, and he'll look to get started on the right foot here this afternoon. Mayer with 3 options out to his right, fakes the handoff, and now looks down the field far side for Michel, trying to get his feet down, and he hauls it in. A nice start, 15 yards to Mark and Michel.
Mark and Michel's in his second game back with the Calgary Stampeders. He's going to be that second receiver in the trips formation, going to run the deeper out. Jake Mayer had 2 options here. He had his fullback in the flat that was open, or Mark and Michel down the field. He'll take the bigger play, and nice catch right at the sideline by Michel. You know he's going to play better in game 2.
Nice way to settle in here for Mayer early in this ball game. That's Reggie Bagleton, who swoop in behind his quarterback into the slot to the right. This time they will hand it off, and pushing ahead for a short pickup on first down. Big part of this Calgary offense.
Deontay Desmarais is back at left tackle on the offensive line. It's a good group that is going to do some, I'm guessing here tonight they're going to do some run blocking with Dedrick Mills behind them, because Dedrick Mills, as we mentioned off the top, leads the league in rushing per yards. Maybe a better stat to rank running backs when there's buys in your schedule. Some players will play more games than others, so it's hard to rate them with the total yardage.
97 yards for Mills last week. He'll flare out to the left here from where pressure right up the middle. Mayer throws it down the field, and it falls incomplete. Odom's Dukes never knew where it was as Mayer picks himself up off the turf.
Free safety blitz from Jaden Dalkey, who's coming and times it up pretty nicely. So Jake Mayer has to get rid of this football, and he's hoping that Trey Odom's Dukes can run that corner and realize the safety blitz is happening and open up. But he kind of stumbled in his route, and incomplete pass.
Cody Gray set to kick this away. Stands just inside his own 40. Gets it away cleanly in the direction of Mario Alford, who watches on as that will bounce at the 4 and into the Riders' end zone, where Alford smothers it. Now Trevor Harris set to go to work. Great finish last week. And he's putting together a pretty nice season in his first with the Riders.
Well, the Riders' 3 wins have been by a total of 8 points. 4, 3, and 1. And that one you're talking about, the last one, where Edmonton held this offense to just a field goal for most of that game. And then one big drive and a 2-point convert tied it up. And then we know how it ended with a special teams miscue by Edmonton, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders win a 12-11 game against the Elks.
Calgary, number 77, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So no points conceded because of the no yard. So we remain scoreless here. Less than 2 minutes to play, or 2 minutes gone rather, in the opening quarter. Harris, almost 300 yards. Touchdown last week. Went 20 of 30 in that game against Calgary earlier in the season. Harris wants to be throwing here. He wants to be throwing down the field, and whoa, what a play! Defensively coming back to bat that away by Jamerson.
Yeah, Natrell Jamerson down the sideline here. Emelis is in behind him, but I think it was just an extra step by Trevor Harris trying to get rid of this ball. It allowed Jamerson a chance to catch up and never quit on a play attitude. Gets him the knockdown, or Emelis scores.
Emelis looked like he was going to be home free on that one.
He was sliding away thinking, I'm gone. Get here. He was waiting for that one to come down.
Jamerson gets back just in time. Harris near side, a completion. Tackle made neatly that time by Jamerson as Emelis is wrapped up, and that'll be 2 and out here for the Riders in their first possession of the ball game.
Little rope-a-dope early on for the offenses. A couple of 2 and outs and kicks. We've got the 2 top kickers in the league as far as punting average.
That's Tommy Lee Lewis making his debut in the Canadian Football League. Put into the lineup today to handle some return duties for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, I got a feeling on him.
Yeah?
Just watching warm-up, I got a feeling on him.
You got that good vibe early on, eh? This one will be off of his hands. He grabs it at the 10, a 66-yard kick, turns it back upfield. Nice move to open up a little bit of space, and will eventually return it just shy of his own 25-yard line. Nick Marshall has been all over it so far this season. More time for Nick Marshall when his club needed him most. He's come up big, Glenn.
Yeah, made a big play in the double overtime game against Calgary a couple weeks ago, and again in their last game against Edmonton. Taylor Cornelius driving to try and kick a game-winning field goal in the dying seconds. Nick Marshall, 2 big picks in back-to-back games.
5 career pick sixes, 1 in every year of his, at least 1 in every year of his career. Now they'll hand it off, and there is nowhere to go that time. Back to the line of scrimmage and no further against this Riders D.
Well, they're going to make one change at defensive end. Brian Cox will play for Anthony Lanier. He is down this game and this week, and they put DeMarcus Christmas in the interior. And Larry Dean, second to Micah Awe in defensive tackles in the league coming into the week. And we just talked about him. Nick Marshall, he'll gamble. And it's an educated gamble when he does it.
2nd and 10 for Mayor. Crowd rowdy early here at Mosaic, and that is over the head of Mills and falls incomplete.
Yeah, Jake Mayer told us this week that, you know, they just need the offense to just have a good day. And now they're off to a bit of a slow start here, a couple of 2 and outs, and it's those little details that he's talking about that make the difference. That ball just a little bit high, even though it's a real high percentage throw, a little bit high and tough for the tailback to turn his body all the way around and try to pull that down.
Alford stands on his own 30, so a chance for some good field position here for the home side. Grace kicks it away from the 15. Hangs up there momentarily. Alford takes it cleanly just inside the 45. Trying to spring himself to the outside, far side of the field. There's a flag at the 45 as Alford turns the corner. Gets it down towards the 30. Mario Alford needs a block. Stays on his feet. Still going. Run like the right the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown Riders. Super Mario does it again. Or does he? A flag laying back at the 45 will determine the fate of this touchdown.
For 45, penalty is declined.
No yards, decline, touchdown counts.
What a return from Mario Alford.
I mentioned mentioned these two kickers. Cody Grace is one of them, have the longest average in the CFL coming into the week in punting average. Well, that also means that returners, and we've got some great ones in the Canadian Football League, returners get that extra second with those really long kicks and the big hang time. They get the extra second. And Mario Alford gets to the outside and breaks a couple of tackles. Does he stay in? Yes! Just 66-yarder.
That is some fine footwork along the sideline for Mario Alford. And that'll provide a spark to this game to get it going. Rother to tackle on one more and make it a 7-0 lead. And that is exactly what he will do. He doesn't need a lot of space to get the job done, and he didn't have a lot here, but the patience pays off for Mario Alford as he finds the end zone.
You see Nelson Lacombo on one, Amari Henderson on the other. He's going to reverse his field, and as soon as he stops, puts his brakes on here, and then goes back, he's got the angle on a bunch of cover guys for Calgary, and now it's just speed against speed and outrunning those pursuit angles. Making one man miss here at the end, and away it goes.
Barnes takes this, looking for an answer. Able to work his way back just shy of the Calgary 35. A 22-yard return for Clark Barnes, and Jake Mayer now comes out trailing in this football game for the first time.
Doesn't change anything for him, though. I mean, he's running the offense here in the first quarter. No big deal. Had nothing to do with it. The special teams play, and they'll have to correct that on the sideline while he goes to work here. But there's, certainly a sense of urgency for this offense over the entire first part of this season.
Calgary's offense averaging 19.5 points per game. 6th in the Canadian Football League. 3 options out to the right for Mayer. Gets it away, has a completion. That's to Barnes. It pops just outside the 45, but he's able to hang on. 14 yards there to the rookie.
It starts out with really good protection for Jake Mayer, so he's got a second to survey the field. He looked to his left and then back to that slant on the right side, sort of drifts away from the throw, but it's a real accurate one. And this is the type of play that can get your offense kick-started.
15-yard completion for his first of the game, and now 14 more there to Barnes. 1st and 10 from the 48 for Calgary. They'll hand it off, and once again, nowhere to go. The Riders clogging up the middle of that line. Micah Johnson in the mix. Mills does get a yard out of it. 2nd and 9, though, for Mayer. From the pocket, far side of the field, back to Barnes again, but nowhere close to what they needed. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Just about a yard on that play on the throw to the wide side of the field.
Yeah, Calgary fans probably looking at that play going, why would you throw a 3-yard play that you throw right out of bounds? It was just the throw took him out of bounds, took Barnes out of bounds. Those type of throws underneath the coverage, you're expecting your receiver to turn around, give him time, turn around, get upfield. You probably don't even have to make one miss before you get to about 8 or 9 yards, and then you get the first down, but the throw just threw him right out of bounds.
So this Calgary drive stalls at their own 50. And Cody Grace will get set to kick it away once again to Mario Alford, who just took one of these all the way back. That was a 66-yard score. And he lurks back around the 10. Takes it just outside the 20. Tripped up this time. Riders on top at home. Legend is in the crowd today. Ray Elgard is here. Look at those Hall of Fame numbers, and he's actually out there with our Brit Dort.
All right, well, I'm trying to get to the popular guy in the crowd here. Ray, when you come back to Saskatchewan, you see everybody wearing their Elgard jerseys. You see the 1989 banner of the championship team. But what keeps you coming back to this place?
Oh, it's great memories. I mean, it's what better place to go to watch a football game? And lots of 81 jerseys, but half of them got Simon written on the back of them. Hey, G-Roy.
Well, I know you had a chance to speak with the team yesterday, and you said, I didn't get into the Hall of Fame because I was good with words. But what advice would you give to players right now going through it? Because I can imagine it feels like yesterday you were one of them.
I would just tell them to enjoy the ride. I mean, when you're living in the moment, you don't really know the magnitude of what you're doing and how much it's going to affect your life later on. And so my only guidance would be, understand and respect what you're doing and enjoy it. And they'll find out 20 years from now.
I'm sorry, very quickly, I have to ask, just given the way this game started for the Riders, Mario really getting the kickstart of the game here,
yeah.
What excites you about this team?
Well, what excited me today was I was in the buffet, and it's all you can eat, so that was cool. So I missed the punt return, but, the team was great. I mean, look at everybody here is happy, and it's all green, and it's just great to come back and watch a game.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. A couple words of advice there. Never miss a buffet. I mean, you got to take that and live in the moment, which I thought was a very cool message for these players.
I'll tell you what, that's one of the all-time greats. That's a Hall of Famer, former teammate, and a tremendous teammate, too, by the way. Be the first to go over and pick you up if you were down, and Ray Elgard ran a few people over in his time. I'll just put it that way. He searched out contact. Let's put it that way.
Nice shout out to G-Roy, too, along the way, which is good. Borzak set to boot this away. Shadow of his own goalpost here. Just outside the 10. Lewis waits, backpedals here, now grabs it just inside the 40. 50-yard kick. Lewis trying to find some space. Heavy collision just outside the 50. There's a burst there with Tommy Lee Lewis. You can certainly see that. Jake Mayer getting the ball back once again here midway through the first quarter.
One time Ray Elgard, we had the test on the bench press before training camp, and Ray Elgard went in there and he did one. He laid on the bench and he did one. He put the weights back on the rack and said, good, I'm done. And he got up out of the weight room and started walking, and the new coach at the time goes, hey, wait a minute. You gotta do as many as you can. He said, nope, I'm doing one. That's good. If you don't like it, cut me, no problem. And walked right.
So he did the bench press?
Yeah, they weren't cutting Ray Elgard, I guarantee you. 13,000 yards later in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
that's a great story, though.
And most importantly, just an outstanding teammate. And that's what this game is all about. If you have a team full of guys that care about each other, play for each other, put their teammates first, the guy beside you in the locker room first, you have a chance to win. Ray Elgard was that guy.
5 yards on that carry for Mills. That's his most of the game so far. So Calgary trying to get something going on the ground. 2nd and 5, right at midfield here for Mayer. A little bit of pressure, shot down from behind, and hit hard as he throws, and a flag actually on that hit.
It was Brian Cox coming off the edge. Brian Cox Jr., who got to him first. He's playing for Anthony Lanier, and it
Holding Calgary, number 67. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Just a great speed rush off the edge, as Brian Cox Jr. is going to come right here, and he's working on Desmarais, who's back in the lineup at left tackle, gets there very quickly, and I thought the hit was clean, and according to the officials, it was. Yeah, good tackle in the back.
Heavy
just
hit,
as
clean.
just as Jake Mayer is getting rid of it.
Fourth consecutive punt for Calgary. Alford this time, no room, and just sidesteps out of bounds, just shy of the 20. Trevor Harris, a huge drive at the end of the game last week. We'll have more on that with Britt when we return.
To me, and he said he was so confident in that final drive that he knew that, hey, if I could just get on the field one more time, we're so close to clicking, we can get into the end zone. So he said, Britt, that doesn't surprise me coming from Harris. And guys, I don't think it surprises any of us.
It really doesn't. He's done an excellent job as a veteran quarterback in this league, establishing himself as a leader with this group.
Well, here's what happens. You get into those big moments, and and you got 11 guys in the huddle that aren't sure. A lot of them aren't sure. They're in the huddle, and could be your offensive lineman. There's Eric Lofton playing left tackle. Could be your running backs, your tailbacks, your receivers that aren't sure. Your quarterback, your leader, walks in there and says, I believe. Anybody else here don't? If you guys don't believe, get out. That's, he didn't say it that way. Brick told you how he said it, but you need to hear that from your veteran. And all of a sudden, that self-doubt is crushed, and you truly believe. You look in his eyes, and the eyes will tell you if it's just words or if he really believes it. And Trevor Harris does that. Veteran quarterbacks can get that done because they've been in those moments before.
Closing in on 30,000 yards in his career. If they get things going in the air today, Harris could certainly take a run at that mark. Here they rely on the ground, and it's Hickson who actually picks it up with 6 yards. First down of the game for the Riders, who lead courtesy an Alford punt return touchdown. Harris 1st and 10. Back to the ground again. Pushing it ahead, and that's a couple of extra hard yards there from Jamal Morrow as the 1-2 punch for the Riders work against this Calgary defense.
Yeah, the defensive front four led by Julian Hauser up there. Well, really the only guy, he's playing great. He's playing well. He's taking care of his assignments, but he hasn't got that first sack yet, so that's one he wants to get. Mike Alway leads all tacklers coming into the week at middle linebacker. 2 great middle linebackers in this game, by the way. And they're going to play Michael Griffin at free safety. Titus Wall's back up at that strong side linebacker spot.
Alway had 10 tackles last week. They'll try to run it again, and this time Calgary has seen enough. And they will wrap up Morrow before he had anywhere to go. Wigan tracks him down.
Yeah, all 4 of those guys have a sack. Vaughters leads the way with 3. Wigan has 1. This will be, I believe, a tackle for a loss because it looked like he got Morrow in the backfield. And tackle for the loss, by the way, just as good as a sack.
Lewis awaits the kick from Corsack on his own 25. 3rd and 6, gets it away. Low kick. Lewis takes it cleanly, a 50-yarder. And Lewis back to the 40.
I got a feeling with that guy. Tommy Lee Lewis.
Not much further. Here's Jake Mayer on his offense so far this season.
4 games this season, we just haven't played very good offensive football. I'm a realistic person. I understand where we are as a team right now, why our record is the way it is, and I want us as an offense to hold ourselves accountable. We need to play better, and I believe we will, but we got to do it.
Not hiding from anything.
I think it's fantastic. I really do.
There's 3 of 6 for 30 yards. Looking for a big chunk here. He's got it. Get off it in just inside the 40. Hakuna Vanu hauled it in. A big chunk for the Stampeders.
I love the humility from Jake Mayer and the accountability to basically say we've got to play better. And he went on after that and in our discussions with him during the week to talk about the explosion play. We need a couple of explosion plays to get our confidence. Hakuna Vanu down the rail. How about that to get things started? Missed a game recently due to injury. He's back in the lineup, and he's got some downfield speed now.
Completed just 14% of his passes. 20 yards down the field or further coming into this game. He got one there. Now they'll hand it off. Nowhere to go. Robertson all over him. Bellamy into the game at running back. Both the running backs out there right now, actually, but Bellamy had that one, and Robertson had him.
See him one-on-one, then the left side of that defensive line, and on the outside is that swim move. You see how they worked a little stunt where Pete Robertson was going to come and slide inside off the tackle. I believe it was DeMarcus Christmas going back outside for contain.
Calgary knocking on the door of the red zone here. Mayer will be throwing this time. Pressure at the middle towards the end zone. Oh, incomplete. Bagleton tried to lay out for it. Couldn't haul it in. Stampeders that close.
pressure is just what the Saskatchewan Roughriders need. I believe it was Micah Johnson one-on-one with Sean McEwen right down Main Street. It just rushed Jake Mayer enough that he couldn't get it to Begelton. Number 4 right here in your screen. Here he comes. Push, push. Little rip move. Just enough.
28-yarder for Paredes, and Calgary is on the board with just 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A drive, though, that Jake Mayer could certainly build on.
Well, he got the explosion. You know, that gives you confidence that you can blow the top off the coverage with the Cunavana. So he gets that play, gets down there, and he had Begelton. Begelton was running against 2 men on that last, meaning he had a guy underneath him and a guy over the top, and Begelton beat both guys and got to the middle. But that pressure by Micah Johnson rushed the throw just a little bit, and he missed him. But yeah, I think you're right. Real positive drive for the Calgary offense.
Harris, just 3 passing yards for Harris here in the first quarter. His team is on top, 7-3. And they'll go back to the run again. 4 consecutive run plays on the last drive as well. And that will do it for the opening quarter. The Riders on top 7-3 through 15 minutes. Mario Alford, the star, with a return touchdown. Of this game, just 3 passing yards so far for the Riders. What stands out here for you?
Well, sometimes special teams is the offense that you'll see in a CFL football game. We see that from Mario Alford on the big return, but that play to Cunavano should help the Calgary offense. And the rip move, let me show you what the rip move is. Stand up.
What do I do?
So you're standing there. The rip move is I'm hitting you here, and then I'm ripping this arm up through. When you do the rip move like Micah Johnson just did, you can put that pressure on just that split second early, cause that errant throw. Just missed Begelton for a touchdown.
2nd and 5 is where we're at to start this quarter. From the Saskatchewan 45. Near side, a completion right up to the 50. Tevin Jones, his first catch of the ball game, will go for a first down for the green and white.
Yeah, you know, this young receiving core is getting valuable reps right now in the first part of this season. Tevin Jones is one of them. Sean Bain, new to the team, played in Calgary last year. Mitch Picton, Sam Emelis. These are young receivers that are getting valuable reps and very important experience.
Empty backfield for Harris this time. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Pressure on him, and that one falls incomplete. Judge had a free pass to the quarterback, and Harris had to get rid of it.
I think it was Kendall Watson on that crossing route. Again, a rookie receiver. He's going to come from the right side of your screen all the way across the middle. You keep in mind right now that Juwan Breskeson, Braden Lenius, Keon Schaefer-Baker, Darrell Walker, and Jake Winicky all out. Those are all starting receivers that should be back either around Labor Day or just before Labor Day. These young guys are getting good reps.
Harris with time. Far side, a completion. Watson has the first down. Great effort by Watson after getting around the first Stampeder to make the most of that space.
You remember when Jake Mayer early threw that sideline play on 2nd down, and he kind of threw his receiver out of bounds? Well, this time, watch how this is why you throw it short of the first down. Watson catches this short of the first down, but you make that guy miss, you go down the sideline, now you got it on your own. That's the reason that the read takes the quarterback to that. I know sometimes it frustrates fans when you don't throw it 10 yards when you need 10, but sometimes a receiver can get it done for you.
Patterson into the game at quarterback here for the Riders. And he'll be running it. Trying to find some space. Pretty good pickup on first down, and that'll be enough for another first down. Maybe just shy of 10, but darn close. This will depend on the spot of the ball. But there you go, mixing him in a little bit.
Yeah, a little veer kind of offense here going up to the right. You got Jamal Morrow there as a pitch option, and Patterson just reading the blocks. Do I have a hole upfield? If not, he saw that there was containment up on Jamal Morrow, so he cut back up inside, got a couple blocks from his big guys up front. Nice play. Nice looking play from Kelly Jeffrey. Offensive coordinator likes to be on the field. Doesn't always happen. They often like to be up in the booth.
Near side, Amos went down for it, could not hang on. Jamerson was right there. And that was a throw from Patterson. Harris will now trot back out onto the field in a 2nd and 10 situation.
You know, you would see Shea Patterson run those kind of RPO type plays or running plays, option plays, but sometimes you throw in a pass because you don't want the defense to just hone in on. If he's in the game, he's going to run.
Got to keep him honest.
Keep him honest. Try to keep him honest.
Harris works from the Calgary 34. Dumps it off to his running back, Morrow. And he is contained and wrapped up by Micah Alway, and that'll be short of a first down. And they'll trot Lothar out here to look for 3 more.
We got some good linebackers in this game. We've got some pure tackle-to-tackle, full-on run stoppers in Micah Alway. You know, in his journey, his career, he has evolved very nicely to just a top linebacker in the league. He used to be so violent in the game and just going after guys, and he got a ton of penalties early on in his career. He's fixed that issue, and he just flies around and makes plays now.
Lothar at 75% on the year is able to knock this one through, and the Riders' lead is once again 7. Jake Mayer with something to build off after getting some points on the Stampeders here in town. So is their radio broadcast team. Mark Stephen and Greg Peterson inducted into the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame. How about this? 25th season together. Calgary Stampeders radio, longest tenure in CFL history.
Greg Peterson in the football builders category, raised in Calgary, played his minor football in Calgary, and then 9 years with the Calgary Stampeders, was an all-star in '90 and a champion in 1992.
1st and 10 for Mayer. Fakes the handoff, throwing here. Beggleton wide open in midfield. And he'll be tracked down by Dalkey and taken down right at the Riders' 50.
See what that does? See what that Acuna Vano play does? It just gives you that feeling that, yeah, okay, let's get back to how we do it in practice. Let's get back to that rhythm. And that was on time, in the right spot, at the moment for a 21-yard gain. Nice, confident throw.
Jake Mayer closing in on 100 yards passing in this ballgame. Diedrich Mills, and now with the slot to his right. Mayer has a completion. And he goes back to Clark Barnes again, who's been involved quite often so far. That's his 3rd catch of the game.
2 guys right there. Larry Dean was able to cover with his great range. Again, great linebackers in this game in the middle. Larry Dean, he can cover Beggleton and get there, and also Barnes on the inside. I'm not sure that that was the right design of that play. One of those 2 receivers were in the wrong spot. My guess is it wasn't Beggleton.
Dean had 9 tackles and an interception in week 3 against the Calgary Stampeders. 2nd and 5 for Mayer. And that one incomplete over the head of Beggleton and into the turf down the field.
You know, we talked to Dave Dickinson this week. He told us that Beggleton has just been such a great pro to the young receivers. I mean, they had injuries as well with Malik Henry going out. Now Mark and Michelle has replaced him, but Coach Dickinson telling us that, boy, he has been fantastic in practice throughout the work week. And, you know, clearly Jake Mayer is trying to get Beggleton the ball. Now, defensively, Saskatchewan's going to give him some more attention because he's a veteran out there.
Paredes will come out to attempt a 51-yarder. His long on the years from 53. Alford lurking back in the end zone. Paredes has it up, and he knocks it through with just enough juice. And the lead cut to 4 as Paredes takes care of business. Trevor Harris, 4 of 7, 30 yards so far in this game. Had 5 different receivers with 3 catches last time out. They'll hand it off now. And a pretty good chunk right up the middle on 1st down for Jamal Morrow, who's either waiting for people to move or a little slow to get up.
Yeah, it looks like he is a little slow. getting up from the bottom of that pile. Again, Morrow against Calgary a couple of games ago for Saskatchewan, 22 carries for 133 yards. That's still the best performance of any running back in the league heading into this week. Not sure what Brady Oliveira got in Winnipeg, and congratulations to the Red Blacks and their come from behind exciting finish. Great game last night as well.
We were losing it in the booth watching that overtime. That looked amazing. 2nd and 5 for Harris. Pressure coming, and he's balls out. Calgary trying to jump on top of Harris. Got popped. Looks like the Riders' offensive line was able to recover. Alway lowering the boom.
Well, how quick does Mike Alway get there? They line him up. He take him out of the middle, and they line him up off the edge, and an edge player, and there was just nobody outside to block him. Remember, Jamal Morrow got up slow and late. He didn't see him from the backside. He just turned that corner and got to Trevor Harris quickly.
Now there's a flag on the field, and the officials are still discussing exactly what the call is going to be. Looks like it's against the Riders.
Well, the hit was good. The hit was clean from Mike Alway.
Well, offense
Illegal contact. Calgary, number 2. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Jonathan Moxey with the illegal contact down the field. And I stand corrected. It goes against the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, it happened so fast that Moxey must have been, outside of that 5-yard zone and made contact right at the time that Trevor Harris was getting hit, because
you're right, it did happen really quick. There wasn't much time before Harris got hit.
Just past the 50.
Turn them around.
No question, but my point is, for Calgary and their fans, Trevor Harris was already on the ground by then.
Harris pressured again, trying to get away, and he won't. Calgary answers right back. It's Mike Rose, his 3rd sack of the season.
Starting to get going. He, first couple of games, I'm doing his assignment there. Hey, that was a swim move. On the next break, I'll show you the swim move. I showed you in the first break, I showed you the rip, punch with one hand, rip that other one underneath. That was a swim move. We'll get to that in the 3rd quarter.
Looking forward to it. Here's Harris. Time in the pocket now. Looks down the field. The flag as he throws. And that one never really had a chance.
James Vaughters is picking himself up off the turf.
Holding Saskatchewan, number 66. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
The guy that was blocking him was number 66 for Saskatchewan, Colin Kelly. So that was going to be the penalty. Had it been a completion, there's Kelly. Offensive line going, how come it's only when you do this that this happens? And there's no question that is a holding call.
They're going to do that later too. And wrap me up, take me down.
We'll have a beverage first, and then we'll...
There we go, Korsak has that one. A bounce. Out of bounds. 42-yard kick. Jake game at 57.4% of the season. It's a tough look considering his head coach is 3rd all-time on that list. For more, let's send it down to Britt Dork.
Yeah, there's no sugarcoating the struggles that they're having on offense this season, especially for Jake Maier. But you heard him earlier. He basically took all credit for it, and he says, I know I need to be better. And Dave Dickinson, when I asked him, well, what advice are you giving him, given that you are 3rd on that list in all time, he said, Britt, it's about your eyes. When I was a quarterback, I knew that I had to follow my eyes. Let your eyes tell you who gets the ball, find who needs to be getting it, who feels comfortable. And he said, well, the thing is, though, with us, with Jake, we have to make him comfortable in the pocket so he knows how to use his eyes and he can read those plays. And you're seeing tonight a little bit more of improvement. He's over 100 yards, and so maybe it's working, guys. guys.
Worked on that play.
It certainly worked there. He used his eyes to find Beggleton wide open for 32 yards.
Well, just what Britt said, that, you know, when she talked to Dave Dickinson about it and how we got to protect him better. You protect him better, he'll get more confidence in there. He can go through his progressions, which he did on this play. And then he hits Beggleton, who is that third look over the middle. Beggleton makes the guy miss and gets some extra yards down the sideline.
136 yards now for Mayer. First and 10 on the 48. They'll hand it off, and emerging through the pack, Dedrick Mills. Nice pickup.
It brought Jaden Dalkey down defensively to help out, and it really didn't matter. This is real good gain on first down for your tailback. It gets your quarterback in a real manageable second down situation. Dalkey had him in the hole, but that's the top back in the league. 91 yards a game. He made that first guy miss. Good ones make the first guy miss, even when you're a great tackler.
Brian Cox was there to wrap him up. 2nd and 5 for Calgary. 3 receivers up to the left for Mayer. That's where he looks. That's where he throws. It was a low one. Akunavani went down to get it. And they'll be about half a yard shy.
Interesting spot, too, where they are on the field.
What do you do?
Dave Dickinson wants to take a close look at it. I think they're going to bring in Tommy Stevens and go short yardage. Make sure Cunavano caught it. Yes, he did. Hands underneath. Dave Dickinson third on that list, and you notice who was first?
Trevor Harris on the other side. All-time leader in completion percentage on the other side of the ball here this evening. Stevens into the game, trying to push ahead, and he's got it. Took a few guys to haul him down. A flag right at the end of the play. Jeremy Clark was basically hanging off the back of the big Tommy Stevens. He got 4 yards on the sneak.
Tommy
Face
Stevens.
mask, Saskatchewan, number 11. It's 15-yard penalty, first down.
Tommy Stevens is 260 pounds. So there's O linemen that are 260 pounds, D linemen that are 260. You know, like, when you look at the short yardage quarterback on every team, you'll see stats like he's got 11 carries, 10 carries for 1.1 yard average. Because their short yardage, they just dive forward. His average is 4. So on any 3rd and 1, Coach Dickinson can go, I think our guy can get his 4.
He'll start going for it on 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
Let him take care of business. 1st and 10. Mayer back out there now. Lots of protection. Gets it to his running back, Mills. Flag in the secondary as Marshall and Allen are there on the tackle. As this one against
Illegal
the Riders.
contact, Saskatchewan, number 38. It's 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jaden Dalkey hit with the illegal contacting call. And the penalty-aided drive here has the Stampeders in business. Dalkey in his 2nd year out of the University of Alberta, taken 54th overall. Worked out pretty good so far. 1st and 10 for Mayer. This time he'll get it to Michelle. Spin move to stay on his feet. Trying to find some space. Eventually tripped up and taken down by A.J. Allen. But a nice move by Michelle to get some positive yardage on his play.
Yeah, guys that go south and then come back, or guys that are, you know, out of football for a bit and then they have to come back. Even though Mark and Michelle knows the offense, you need a game. You need a game to get your legs under you. You feel like you're running in sand in the first game, and he looks a lot better tonight than his first one last week, where he was targeted 6 times and just had the 1 catch.
Use that game to get back up to speed. And speed is what he used on that last play. 2nd and 4. Mayer out to his right, gets it to Mills. Mills cuts it back right up the middle, inside the 10. He lunges ahead, and a first down for Calgary as they march inside the red zone.
Jake Maier will negotiate the pocket here, and then in self-defense, Dedrick Mills makes the catch. Because watch how Maier he negotiates the pocket, slides out, buys himself a little time, and then throws it inside shoulder.
First and goal for Calgary, looking for their first lead of the ball game. Maier, a ton of time to the corner. Michelle stumbles. They both go down, and the ball falls incomplete. That'll take us inside 3 minutes at Mosaic in Regina.
You're fired up from the last game, is that why?
Yeah.
He hasn't sat down yet.
I know.
We're going to recap it all. Coming up at the half. We'll see you then.
Well, they went double overtime last time these two teams met.
They've got a lot to discuss at halftime, so don't go anywhere. Watch the recap in a Saturday doubleheader on TSN. Ninth play of this drive. It's a big second and goal from the 7 from there. Has time. Far side of the end zone. Touchdown! Welcome to the league, Tommy Lee Lewis. His first game, his first catch, his first touchdown for the Stampeders.
Tommy Lee Lewis in warm-up, and he just looked like he had this jump in his step that was just a little bit above everybody else I was watching in warm-up. Now that's just warm-up. You got to see it translate game time. But he ran a sweet corner route there and was wide open.
They liked him in the preseason. He'd been dealing with some injuries. A chance to get him into the lineup today, and it certainly pays off. Perez for one more, and Calgary for the first time today on top, 13-10.
Little change motion with Odom's Dukes here as you're going to see him come inside, and then he's going to run his corner route, and you get a DB that's playing one-on-one, man-to-man right there. Now you got him level. You got him right in front of you. That's a two-way go. Go inside on the post or go to the corner. He ends up going to the corner. That's Amari Henderson. And look at the separation. Jake Maier drops it in there.
9-play, 94-yard, 4-minute and 47-second drive, which the way Calgary's offense has worked this year, Glenn, that's a huge drive for Jake Maier and this team right now.
It's looked different, the offense, since Acunavano caught the one on the sideline.
Lewis making his CFL debut at the age of 30. Spent time with the Saints, the Lions, the Panthers, and the Dolphins south of the border. Returning kicks today and gets a touchdown there on a pass from Jake Maier. Alford, who has a return touchdown already today. That one was off a punt. This is a kick return. Alford slowly picks his way just outside the 30 in 2.5 minutes on the clock. Trevor Harris looked to get this Riders offense going.
Started slow against Edmonton too offensively, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and then finished strong with a real good drive in the two-point convert. See what adjustments they make at halftime here, but have time in this drive to get in at least field goal range.
We mentioned they're missing pretty much their 5 starting receivers, but Tevin Jones is over 200 yards. Baines almost at 300 on the year, and Emelis is just shy of 250 coming into this game. So those guys have done a good job. Completion on the far side to Watson. That's his second catch of the ball game, and a short pickup through the air on first down.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Sean Bain in this one early on. Watson with that catch to the sideline against his old team, the Calgary Stampeders. He had 3 catches for 77 yards. His best games of the 23 season. So maybe Sean Bain will be one of the adjustments at halftime for Kelly Jeffrey.
Looking to unleash 15 in green in the slot up to the right of Harris. Harris dumps it off, trying to push ahead for a first down, and that should be enough. An excellent push after the initial contact from Jamal Morrow gets the job done.
He knew Jamal Morrow was there, and he knew he had good yards on first down, so he's going to check to the left. try to pull Micah Allway, the linebacker, just for a split second, or freeze him for a second, and then check it down.
Needed 5, got 6. Harris flushed out of the pocket. On the run, throws to his right, finds Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of another first down.
It's one thing that veteran quarterbacks understand is you know, when that drive becomes that much more important. You can see just a little bit more out of Trevor Harris here as he feels a little bit of pressure inside, bounces outside, and then a nice throw to Jones on the sideline. It's an important drive, get some points, and maybe tie it up or more.
2nd and 1 for Harris, closing in on midfield here. 4 options to the left. That's where he goes. It's Watson. And that'll be a first down for Saskatchewan. And they're moving the ball quickly here. Still over 2 minutes to work with.
Yeah, tempo. Call it on the line of scrimmage. Watson nowhere near the sideline to get out of bounds and stop the clock, so he'll have to get in and out of the huddle, but plenty of time. As the Ottawa Redblacks, if you saw the game earlier, will tell you, inside of 3 minutes is plenty of time. They were down by 16 and won the game in overtime.
Yeah, the Bombers will tell you it's plenty of time as well.
Yeah.
Tough one to let slip away, but full marks. The Redblacks are coming back in that game. Here's Harris. And his running back cannot stay on his feet. As Morrow is wrapped up, Dozier was right there, and they get back to the line of scrimmage and no further.
Yeah, Brandon Dozier can come in for Wall at the Sam, and the Sam linebacker is a strong side linebacker. He can come in at safety. That time he was at safety, moved down, and he just read the play. He just played the play, as they used to say.
2nd and 11 for Harris. Early.
Procedure, Saskatchewan, number 52. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That was Eric Lofton, and I think everybody saw that one.
Brandon Council, Gerald Hawkins, and now Eric Lofton. It's been a bit of a rotating door at left tackle. This offensive line, and Logan Bandy playing center for Peter Godber for the 2nd straight game.
5 yards tacked on, pushes him back. 2nd and 16 now for Harris. Trying to keep this drive alive. 3-man rush. Harris in the pocket, jumping around. Trouble coming from behind, and they got him. The ball pops out. Calgary's on it. They pick it up and take over at the Rider 45. Disaster late here for Saskatchewan.
That's just great backside hustle from James Vaughters. I mean, Vaughters is coming from a long way away, and he just keeps digging. Look at number 9 go. That's a defensive lineman, 6'2", 260, and he is hustling from the backside. Strips the ball out of there. It bounces around. Micah Allway has a shot at it.
Rose picked it up and secured it. 2nd fumble of the season for Trevor Harris. Now Jake Mayer, 71 seconds to tack on some more. Gets it away quickly. Barnes has it, and is spun down by Jeremy Clark.
That's just a great play by Vaughters. Rose gets the fumble, but it's 3-man pressure, and here he comes right here. Just 3-man pressure, but he gets run up and wide, so he has to chase, keep after it. He runs right past his teammate Mike Rose, and Rose gets the fumble.
And a couple of sacks last week did Vaughters. Heavy pop after John hauls that one in, and that will bring up 3rd down, and Paredes will trot out for a late field goal here, but the Riders limit the damage.
Yeah, when you need a play or a little spark, this guy can provide it. He's done it a couple of times now. That's Nick Marshall. Marshall again, football IQ through the roof. He's pattern reading there. In other words, he's got a curl in front of him, so he knows there's a push through the flat coming, steps up and brings his shoulder pads, low pad level, and makes next hit.
They had brought Paredes out, but then they take him back off the field, and Stevens stays out and pushes ahead. And we said, when you have Tommy Stevens, might want to use him. Paredes was pretty much all the way out there and turn around and make a last-second change, and just like that, with 46 seconds left, Jake Mayer back on the field.
Penn State just, I ideal in short yardage, and he won't jump over the pile very often.
He pushes through.
He drives through the pile.
Working from the Rider 34, pressure from Saskatchewan. And that one is held on to by Odoms Dukes. What a catch. His first of the game is a beauty.
They're really working that side. Now, Amari Henderson has moved from the wide side halfback into the boundary to play with Nick Marshall.
Eighth different player to catch a ball from Jake Mayer today. Now they'll hand it off. Pushing ahead for another first down for Calgary with 22 seconds on the clock. The ball in the hand of Dedrick Mills.
Amara Henderson is now playing in that short side with Nick Marshall, and Jeremy Clark is playing to the wide field. So, you know, again, great DB, can make the switch, no big deal, but it's different footwork, and they're working that side.
15 seconds left in the half. Mayer, wide side. Akunabanu's got it. And eventually lunges up and out of bounds with 9 seconds on the clock.
Well, probably 2 plays if they're quick. Now, depending on the first play, you want to make sure you have at least enough time to get your field goal team out there. Smart play by Akunavano to get out of bounds.
Second trip to the red zone today for the visitors. Calgary leading by 3. 2nd and 2. Mayer with time to the end zone. Jake Mayer drops it in a bucket, and Hakunavanu's got his first touchdown of the season. Stampeders.
Just some subtle changes in the secondary can make all the difference. And I'm telling you right now that Jake Mayer couldn't believe his eyes when 81 was that wide open. But Deontay Williams at that wide side corner, he jumps a push route, and Akunavano gets in behind coverage.
Paredes for one more. 7-play, 45-yard drive after a Trevor Harris fumble, and Calgary's now on top 20-10.
Akunavano is on the outside, and he's going to run the go route ball. This push route is what influences Williams at the corner position. So Williams is sitting on this. He's in good position for Akunavano now, but look, he jumps the push out here, and here he comes there. Akunavano now. You got to get there if you're that deep outside defender. You got 2. It's cover 2 with 2 guys high. Akunavano just running his route. Complimented by Barnes. He gets the assist and is the first to signal Calgary touchdown.
Just to confirm, how about Jake Mayer in the first? He's got a 200-yard first half with a couple of touchdowns and 16 of 22.
That guy right there that you're seeing in your screen, Akunavano, with that deep one, has really given this offense some confidence.
4 catches for Akunavano today, 72 yards, and that touchdown. Big first half.
Well, Dave Dickinson said we need some explosions. We get some explosion plays, and we're going to get our confidence. You know, they're practicing well. I mentioned Reggie Bagleton being a real leader by example, and Akunavano making a difference tonight.
And they'll kick this away from Mario Alford. A wise decision. And that will do it for a pretty entertaining first half of football. Calgary was trailing for the majority of it, but Jake Mayer gets this team going offensively. And what can they do to build on that in the second half? Riders on the other half stalling a bit offensively. Trevor Harris just 53 passing yards, and Jamal Morrow just 18 yards on the ground in the first half. Their one spark, a 66-yard return from Mario Alford. But Jake Mayer, 16 of 22, 204, and 2 touchdown passes in a half that he desperately needed to kind of get his season going. Many of those targets to Akunavano, thrown to 4 times, caught all 4 for 72 yards and a touchdown. Barnes 4 catches on 4 targets, trailing the Stampeders 20-10. Mario Alford, who had a return touchdown, is with our Britt Dort.
All right, Mario, what was the message in the locker room in order for you guys to answer back this second half?
We just got to come together. Offense got to put drives together. We know what we need to do. Like Trevor said, it's on us at this point. Offense got to play better. The whole team, we just got to come together. We're a little dry right now. We'll come out the second half and play better.
Well, given how last week's return went for you getting called back, how did it feel in this game when that flag happened? And then were you worried again, or did you get excited when you knew it was going to count this time?
Well, yeah, when I got in the end zone, I saw the flag. I said, man, not again. Because the one last week I thought count, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm going to bounce back, and I'm going to put some more points on the board.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You got to take his word for it. He's got 8 return TDs in his career. Also said what Trevor told him. It's on us as an offense to get things going for the Riders. How to just the return touchdown from Alford and a field goal, and they trail 20-10. This will be taken by Hickson, and Hickson takes it out beyond the 30, but no further.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, when they talk, it sounds like Trevor Harris went over to the offensive side of the dressing room and said, guys, we got to be better. Our defense is playing fairly well. I mean, there was a couple of drives by Calgary, get to that in a second, but it starts up front, starts with the pressure, and Trevor Harris just hasn't had time to climb up in the pocket and hit those intermediate to deep routes. And that's why they haven't produced a whole bunch offensively.
Sacked 3 times, including that fumble there. Holy smokes. Alway just destroying Jamal Morrow.
This is what he did in the first part of his career. Mike Alway would lead with the crown of his helmet. He was getting some penalties for it because the rules in the game have evolved to a point where you have to keep your head up and tackle with your face first and make sure you hit that midsection. He lowers his pads and get him right in the chest.
Here's Harris in trouble again, and he'll be taken down to start the half. Julian Hauser's first sack of the half. He had one in the first half, his first 2 of the season.
Yeah, every player, we get a second going into a work week to talk to a couple of players and the head coach, and when he was the guy this week. We're talking to him about. I asked him about how he feels about his play. He said, "Hey, look, I think we're getting it done. We're playing the way we need to play." He wanted to get a stat or 2. Got a couple tonight already.
Low kick. Lewis takes it. Picks his way along the sideline. Nice spin move, and he's still going. There's a flag on the play, but Tommy Lee Lewis, what a move, and now he's going to take it down inside the 30. In his CFL debut, he's going to take a return all the way home. But a flag lurking back inside the 40. But those are the fireworks you said you were expecting.
He just looked like he had that. He just looked like he can't believe it.
Number 80. It's a 10-yard penalty. First
Coming
down.
back. It's right at the point of attack. Stop it right here, guys. Yeah, there it is. I think this is going to be a block in the back on Nelson Lacombo by Mark and Michelle.
Spectacular stuff, though.
Outstanding run, and you just looks like he's a split second faster than the rest of the players in the field. So that one he's going to have to shake off. And Dave Dickinson talked about him this week, saying we're excited that he's healthy and ready to get in the lineup now. Been waiting on him for a while.
You don't see many return TDs that involve a spin move, and that one was taken off the board, but he made it work nicely.
Jake Mayer started out slow in that first half, and offensively we heard from him, and when we interviewed him, talked about how he's got to be accountable and they've got to be better offensively. They need an explosion to break out. That was what they got from Akunavanu. There's Tommy Lee Lewis's touchdown. Akunavanu on a nice play, and then after the turnover, Cunovano with another big catch and touchdown to take the lead going in at halftime. Second quarter, way better from Air.
Yeah, excellent second quarter. Now a 2nd and 10, and that one is low. Some pressure in his face as he throws, and never had the juice to get to Cunovano again. So both defenses stepping up here early in the third quarter. I still get the feeling we're in for a pretty dramatic second half here between these two clubs.
Yeah, I would agree, and we've got some players that are capable of taking it to the house from anywhere on the field, starting with number 2.
That's Mario Alford hustling over to his left. 54-yard kick he takes just inside the 30. Good coverage downfield, and the Stampeders will force Alford to step out. Jamal Morrow just 18 yards rushing in the first half. We'll see if they can unleash him when we return to third quarter action. Which one I am? It's very confusing.
Well, I'll help you here. Gen X is 65 to 80. You're beyond that.
I'm an 81.
You're 81, so you're a millennial.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
Cheer for the millennials.
I finally found out. Go Millennials, go. Here's Bain. His first catch of the ball game goes for 10 yards against his former club.
Yeah, we thought that might be an adjustment. You know, try and get Sean Bain going, because, you know, he can make those plays on the really high percentage throws. Also, with the pressure that Trevor Harris faced in the first half, this is the type of throw they need to do to get this offense kick-started. Real quick, out of his hands in a hurry.
10th completion of the game for Harris, has his team up to their own 45, trailing by an even 10. 4 options to the left for Harris.
You got smoke.
Going to dump it right up the middle, and that'll be just shy of another first down as he goes back to Bain again. So 19 consecutive yards here for Sean Bain Jr.
That really freezes the linebacker, and Kelly Jeffrey understands it. I mean, as soon as you play action fake, that's what the linebacker does. He wants to fill the hole, and then they throw it right behind him.
First down picked up on the ground, and that is Jamal Morrow, who they want to obviously activate in this offense.
A couple play actions to him early on here, but he'll be important, especially in protection as well. They are going to keep throwing it.
Tevin Jones at the bottom of your screen, working against Roberson. Everybody else up to the left of Harris. That's where he's going to go, try to set up a little bit of a screen for Bain. And Bain is able to push it ahead for about half of what they need on first down.
Yeah, so basically, Kelly Jeffrey saying Sean Bain, and look back at his 9 games in Calgary, had 288 yards and 21 catches, and very similar pace in 4 games, in just 4 games this year for Saskatchewan, especially with all those big names out.
2nd and 6. Harris dumps it off to his running back. Good push on that spin move. Alway was all over him, but they'll be just shy of a first down. That'll be 3rd and short.
You know, there's tackling, and then there's blowing up the back in the hole, and we've seen a couple of big hits from 57. I mean, This gets old in a hurry, even for tough tailbacks like Jamal Morrow. It gets old when you know he's been slow getting up, almost the George Reed get up. Remember George? Well, a millennial.
You
would not know. You would not know. No, I'm sure you've seen the great George Reed run. Got up slow every time he got tackled.
Patterson into the game, trying to push ahead. It's going to be close. This is going to be close.
Well, see, Shea Patterson's got 7 carries, and his average is 1.1 yards. He needed about 1.5 yards. Let's see where he gets it to and where they spot the ball here. But he looks like he may have got turned back. We'll see where the spot goes.
For the chains to get a look at this. Did Patterson have enough? Or will this be a turnover on downs? Ooh, that's close. Riders ready to pose for the turnover on downs.
Just a little bit of trash talking going on back and forth during this measurement.
Everybody waits. They're going to run the chain gang back to the far side and reset it. Some confusion over there.
He's short of the money. He's short. Gotta get space for TV, though, guys. Space for TV.
Well, the Riders look like they have a little something going offensively here if they can convert this third down. I hope it's really close. So all the drama here was worth it. Let's find out. Ooh, short, just short. Riders turn it over. Calgary's defense had enough to stop Patterson in his tracks. Alway and the Stamps get it done.
About your pad level, and Mike Moore out of the University of Calgary gets lower than the offensive line for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. You see number 40 go right through. That's how you get your pad level low, make a pile right there, and then let your linebacker get over the top and push the quarterback back. Mike Moore makes that play.
Hey, we got Sim looking like Chuck Smith.
Mission accomplished for the Stamps. They get the ball back just outside their own 40. Pressure on Mary. This time he'll be taken down. Coming around the edge, Robertson.
Last couple of games, he's taken off. I mean, this is what was expected from Pete Robertson. He started out slow first couple of games, didn't have a sack. Then he had 3 in one game, and now he's getting after it. Big play after the sudden change, too. You get the stop by Calgary. They've got all the momentum at that moment. That's a big one to try and grab some back.
Shades of 2022. Robertson. Michelle kind of slips and gets blocked at the same time. Dalkey was there to make sure he would go no further, and that's a quick 2 and out for the Stamps.
It's a good play by Dalkey, first round pick for the Riders, and he's playing that safety spot, but they'll move him around, they'll move him down low. He just fights through the block of Reggie Bagleton. Makes the tackle and almost tackles Bagleton along with him.
So after a turnover on downs, the Riders defense with a sack to force a 2 and out here along the way. Alford backed up inside his 20. Mario Alford looking for space, and he's filled some. Mario Alford to midfield, down to the 40. The race is on, and he's out of here. Goodbye, Mario Alford, to the end zone again. He said he was going to get more points, and he delivers.
You love having the big average from your punters to try and change the field position with a big kick, but it also makes it tougher to cover those kicks. It's called out-kicking your coverage sometimes, and that's exactly what happens on this 92-yarder for Mario Alford, who does not get touched on the return.
I think Hickson knew he was gone at about midfield. Hickson had his hands up celebrating at midfield. As soon as Alford had any clear space, he cranked it up. Mario Alford, for the second time today, takes one all the way to the house. Small space and he's gone. Sensational stuff.
You can't blame Cody Grace, but this is a 60-yard punt to Alford, and the cover team for Calgary is all at different levels, so you can bob and weave through all of those levels. And then Aaron Crawford, the center, goes, okay, let's see. I got Mario Alford and about 10 yards on both sides of me. Yeah, I'm not catching him. And neither is anyone from behind once he's got a lead down the sideline. Mario Alford calling his shot with Britt on the sideline. Pretty cool.
2 in the game for Alford, and dare I say, he's not finished yet. Now bobbled by Barnes, picks it up though, and Barnes on the near side to the 30, 35, and that is where he is out of bounds. Mario Alford called a shot.
It's all good. Like I said, I'm going to bounce back, and I'm going to put some more points on the board.
Okay. Called the shot. 66-yarder, 92-yarder, and Tommy Lee Lewis had one called back. So we've had 3 tonight.
Still a quarter and a half of football. Riders special teams keeping them in the ball game here. Mayer with now a 3-point lead. Takes the handoff out to his right. Flag drops in there next to Michelle, who hauled that in. A flag coming out of the secondary.
Illegal contact, Saskatchewan, number 31. The penalty is declined. First down.
So our head ref, Justin McInnes, and really like the way tonight he's calling penalties really quickly. If there is a penalty on the field and can make that decision really quickly, call it, not slow down the game at all. So nice job by McInnes getting that one. It was legal contact away from the ball, and they'll take the play.
It looked like it was on 37, Jeremy Clark. Mayer will take it. First and 10 from just inside his own 50. They work from the 47. 4 receivers out to his left in an empty backfield set. Goes to Barnes over the middle. Moncrief has him wrapped up. As Barnes hauls in his 5th catch, team leading 5th catch of the game.
Blitz here this time from Larry Dean in the middle, and Jake Mayer's got to kind of hang in there. He knows he can't block number 11 coming down Main Street, so he's hanging in there and fading away, but he gets it to Barnes on first down.
Big second down here right at midfield. Crowd trying to get in ahead of Jake Mayer, and flags fly as the ball is snapped. And now a discussion quickly from the officials.
Procedure, Calgary, number 67. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Left guard, Zach Williams. And that's a big one. Backs the Stampeders up here on second down. Jake Mayer, 218 yards in this game. Second and 10 this time. Mayer gets it away, up high, over the head of Beggleton, and falls incomplete. And that'll bring up third down and a kick from Cody Grace.
Just the difference in the penalties, and these little penalties, sometimes like an offside procedure may sound like a little penalty because it's only 5 yards, but you go to second and long is much different and much more difficult to execute than a 2nd and 4 and 5. That's why Dave Dickinson was so upset on that sideline over a 5-yard penalty.
Alford waits. Does he have any juice left? High kick. Another long one. That'll bounce up high, and that's where he'll take it. Alford trying to stretch the field. The Stampeders this time will have none of it. They wrap him up. It was Michael Griffin who contained him that time. Great game for Hauser so far. More on him when we return.
And hope that I knock the ball down. But we're seeing him go one step further tonight and do his job. He's knocking the quarterback down, guys.
3 tackles, 2 sacks tonight for Hauser.
Real interesting, though, that the video study is the indicator when Trevor Harris points the off shoulder, that's when he's going to release the football, and he does it quickly.
Harris, 13 of 18 for 80 yards. Starts this drive on his own 8. They'll hand it off to Morrow. Pretty good effort to even just get a yard on the play as Calgary was all over him.
Yeah, Alway again, I believe, in the middle of that. He's had back-to-back games with over 10 tackles and just making a huge impact again tonight.
Good chance he hits 10 again tonight. Calgary showing some pressure. Harris barking out instructions last second here as the clock ticks down. 2nd and 9. Empty backfield now for Harris. And he's got a completion. That's his running back, Jamal Morrow, who breaks a tackle for Moore. And the veteran quarterback gets his team out of trouble.
This is what Julian Hauser told Britt. Watch the lead shoulder. He's a right-handed quarterback, so that left shoulder, when he gets that around and points it, then he rotates through the throw, and that's as accurate as you can get to Morrow on the sideline.
Longest play of the game for the Riders offense. Harris throwing again, gets it to Watson. Dozier's there and able to trip him up after a short pickup on 1st down. We saw Harris go to work late against Edmonton and looking like he's moving with a sense of urgency right now late in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6. Hickson into the game for Morrow. And now he'll move to the left of his quarterback. 4 options down to the right for Harris. Hickson flares out to the left. Harris goes over the middle to Watson. Heads up. And he gets popped by Hauser. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, Hauser is such a great athlete, too. I mean, he's a big guy as well at 6'3", just shy at 260. But he can drop and get into coverage, and when you got a guy that's that size that can get into coverage, see a crossing route, close on it, and make a tackle, now you have so much more versatility in your defense. And I asked him, I said, would you rather have a pick, dropping back in coverage, or would you rather have a sack? And he goes, you know, pick's really good for the team. I really like sacks. I'd take either one.
3rd and 1 here. Patterson backing, trying to push ahead again. Oh, boy. If he got it, it was by an inch or 2, no more. Wow.
Well, our Spider Cam will give you a really good look at it. In short yardage, this camera is outstanding. Watch how he goes off the left, and he runs into his own man in Logan Furlan, and then just rolls off of that to get there. But it was tight. It was close.
Last lunge kind of got him ahead, and he stays in the game for a play or 2 right here. 1st and 10 on the Rider 46. Patterson will keep it, has some blockers, pushing ahead, and a couple of yards shy of a 1st down. And now on 2nd and short, will he stay in there and run another one?
So remember that play where he threw the ball, and you think, well, no, wait, he's just in there. Alway is going to freeze when he thinks, well, maybe he throws, or excuse me, Cam Judge there is going to freeze just for a second, and that means he can't scrape to that hole quicker than that.
Now he'll keep it again, and once again, Patterson executes it perfectly. 1st down, and now Morrow and Harris and Watson will slide back out there. A flag right at the end of this play, though, with 12 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. As the players were getting up off the field, the flag came flying out. Let's hear the call.
10-yard misconduct foul. Saskatchewan, number 14. It's a 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Boy, the Riders have done a real nice job this year of turning their penalty issues around from the last 2 years. Last year, they had a lot of penalties like this after the whistle, things like that. This year, they have reversed that completely. Well, let's take a look at where Jones gets it. He gets a little extra business from Judge, and then he gets up and says or does something, and he contacts the official trying to get in the way.
Final play of the quarter. Harris. Now he's going to have to go with it back to the line of scrimmage. And no further. Riders had him the whole way. We've got a good one. Don't go anywhere. Stampeders leading the Riders 20-17 through 3 quarters. 20-17 with 15 minutes, maybe more remaining. But you might have saw something that the Riders might be able to take advantage of here.
Well, the biggest play offensively for Saskatchewan in 3 quarters has been that play to Morrow, which was about a 26-yard throw where Morrow get out of the backfield and he got in a one-on-one with Cam Judge. Now, Cam Judge can cover from the linebacker spot, so that's not an automatic win, but it may be a matchup that Saskatchewan will want to go back to because they get Morrow down the field. He can catch the ball well out of the backfield. Maybe they get him and spring him for an explosion play. They can get a little more traction for this offense because they're going to need it.
2nd and 9 for the Riders. On their own 49 is where we start the 4th quarter. Calgary on top 20-17. Thank you very much for joining us for the second half of a Saturday doubleheader to wrap up week 6. Harris is going to start with 4 options up to his wide side right. Has time, has a, oh boy, had a man, but Watson drops it. Would have been a good look at a possible first down. That's one that the rookie would want back.
Yeah, well, shared responsibility here. I think, you know, Trevor Harris kind of relaxed a little bit. He was so wide open, and it was a little bit low, but certainly catchable. So I'm sure Harris will say, I got to throw it a little better, but there was some room to run there. He turns that corner. He's got about 20 yards to run.
Korsak set to kick it away. Tommy Lee Lewis, who returned one, but had it called back on a penalty, stands on his own 10. He looks dynamic as well. This kick along the sideline. And Lewis, a quick burst. Important game here, but how important is it? Let's hear what Dave Dickinson had to say about that.
I really don't, because too early. I really don't think you win in anything right now. The problem is if you get buried too deep, you can't maybe get to the easier path to where you want to get to. So it's still early, but we feel some urgency. We want to win, and we understand if we want to take first in the West, that's the first goal we want to do. We need to start beating some Western teams.
Long way to go here still, but 2 and 3 would be a lot better than 1 and 4 for Dickinson and his Stampeders. Mayer had a huge first half, trying to get it going here in the second half. A completion, and turning it back up for a first down. He gets it the long way. His first catch of the season.
Yeah, it's an interesting point by Dave Dickinson there because, you know, just to remind fans, the Riders won in that double overtime game a couple weeks ago. So if they win tonight, they have the season series on Calgary already, which doesn't happen this early very often. And Dave Dickinson, they still want to fight for first this early in the season. You can't lose the season series.
They don't meet again until October. And now they'll pitch it out. And a good burst from Mills. Just shy of another first down.
Yeah, we haven't talked as much about Dedrick Mills because when Akunavano made that big play, then Jake Mayer in the second and early third quarter got the passing game going. Tommy Steven in.
Stevens, 2nd and 1. Pretty much automatic.
Yeah, like
he gets it done again here.
Is he the best in the league at that?
He's the biggest. I know that for sure. There's some good guys who are pretty good at it. He also took one last year for about 85 and a touchdown. So,
you know, whether it's the number 2 guy or the number 3 guy in the roster, and by the way, having 3 quarterbacks on your roster, crucial to the development of quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League. And you know, when you have a guy, they take great pride in the short yardage. I mean, they really do. They don't want to ever come back to the sideline not getting it. It happens. Defense wins now and then, but they take great pride in it.
Calgary forced to take a timeout here with just under 12 minutes remaining in this Rider crowd trying to get behind their team's defense.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Lewis went out to the outside, and a couple guys, as he was walking back to the huddle, they kind of tapped him like maybe he was lined up wrong. Again, kind of injured through camp, and they're really looking forward to getting him on the roster. So not surprising that he may have lined up in the wrong position. They didn't want to have a bust. A crucial part of the game here on first down.
He'll now slide out by himself down to the right of Mayer. Mayer gets it back to the line of scrimmage, not much further. Odom's Dukes, just his second catch of the game.
Another real good tackle by Jaden Dahlke. Alberta football fans will know about him playing at the University of Alberta. I think he's got potential to be a perennial all-star safety, to what I've seen early on in his journey, the Canadian Football League. That's just a sound tackle.
Stabs 5 for 16 on second down so far here this evening. This is a big one. Mayer out to his left. Pressure coming, it's Cox, and he gets there. That ball is up for grabs. Where does it go? Intercepted by the Riders. Not blown down just yet. No flags on the field. It's going to be brought back by Deontay Williams. And Williams has it for Saskatchewan. A jump ball on the far side of the field. Hauled in after a bounce by 24 in green and white. Off of Clark. Up in the air. Williams slides underneath it. Off of Clark, then off of his hands, over his head, and you see Mills going down, and that's Williams who slides right in underneath it.
Well, this will be under review. All turnovers are under review automatically. You don't have to challenge as a coach, but it looks like Williams secured the catch. Play was made by Brian Cox Jr.
Riders take over at their own 41. Harris dumps it off. Some room for Morrow. Jamal Morrow to midfield and eventually taken down.
Just making it up as it goes along here. This is a lot of time downfield. Nope, not there. Okay, just make it up. Sandlot football. Watch Brian Cox Jr. though. Let's go back to the big play. He's going to come all the way around the edge, and watch this hustle by Brian Cox Jr. playing for Lanier tonight. Look at him go. Look at him go. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Get there, get there. Gets the hand of Jake Mayer and turns the ball over.
And that is why the Riders have it in midfield. Harris, look out! Pressure! Waters gets there. Harris, nowhere to go.
Boy, I tell you, he just plays, slow plays this. Waters plays this like a seasoned vet. He slow plays, and then shoots the gap when Trevor Harris stands in there. Watch 9. He's just playing the line of scrimmage. Slow play on that inside pass rush lane and right over top the quarterback.
Back-to-back weeks with 2 sacks for James Waters. 5 on the season now. And the Riders facing an important 2nd and 17. 3-man pressure. Harris steps up. And now Harris is going to take off. Pushing his way ahead. And he's got a first down. Trevor Harris goes down awkwardly, though. And he's grabbing his right knee. And that did not look good. Jamal Morrow obviously concerned. Looked like Trevor got spun around. And this is a tough look for Harris.
Yeah, just the way he got twisted here. And he was trying to spin out of the tackle, and then Wigan rolled on that knee. I knew automatically this is not good.
Trying to spin right there.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's a tough one to see. Trevor doing everything he can to try to pick up a first down for his team. As they took a leak at him, we'll step away. Out for the Riders and on both sides of the ball is Trevor Harris being carted away. No pressure on his right leg.
Yeah, standing ovation for their leader.
Let's go, let's go.
See what the doctors say in the next few days. No one feels worse than Derek Wigan. He was diving. It was a complete accident. And just unfortunate timing as he was twisting at the same time to try and make one guy miss. And Wigan just, I know he feels terrible.
You can tell he does.
Both teams over there just giving Trevor a little tap.
Trevor Harris at 37 years old, having an excellent season for the Riders, and gets his leg rolled up on, trying to pick up a first down on a 2nd and 17, pushing his team here as they trail 20-17, doing everything he can, and now unfortunately being carted off. Career start 101 for Trevor Harris, who's just less than 200 yards away from becoming the 19th player in CFL history to throw for 30,000 yards. League's all-time most accurate passer, leaving to a standing ovation here in Regina. Patterson will now try to take over and resume this football game, and he does pick up first down on 3rd and short. And now Mason Fine gets called into duty, Glenn.
Yeah, Mason Fine's got some.
Well, Patterson's going to stay in.
Well, and Shea Patterson had the.
He's done this.
Yeah, he's had some series tonight.
Yeah.
After short yardage, stayed in for a couple snaps, so he's got his own play package, his own series of plays he can work with.
Fine is warmed up and ready to go. He started to trot out there, but they'll leave Patterson in for now. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 44. Uh-oh, he's in trouble, throws it up, incomplete. Good job to avoid the sack, though, as Calgary was all over him, and he managed to throw that ball where nobody would get it.
Yeah, all over him and pushing him well out of field goal range here, and he does a nice job of just saving the loss. Almost hit Morrow, too. Julian Hauser right there.
Mason Fine, who had 2 starts late last season, dropped them both. Now into the game, 2nd and 10. Fine goes to Morrow. Morrow taken down on a loss. And this would be a very long field goal attempt, but Lothar's trotting out here to try to tie this football game.
Lothar coming off a bit of an injury too. Now he's had a little time to heal up, but that deep kick against Edmonton that he put in the end zone was the point that won the Riders the game. It was his groin at that point. That it's a long one. He's going to have to step into this.
His long on the season is 46. He's 0 for 2 from beyond 50. This one from 54 yards just inside the left hash. Lothar to tie it, and that is wide right. Barnes will bring it out. Barnes to the 20, staying on his feet. Barnes will get to the 40, look at him go. Midfield for Barnes, needs a block. Down to the 30, pressure coming, and eventually they will force him out of bounds. But what a return from the rookie. Clark Barnes on the missed field goal flips the field in dramatic fashion with just over 7 minutes remaining in this football game, and things go from bad to worse for the Riders, courtesy Clark Barnes. Those guys would be baby boomers, right?
Yeah, well, is there something before that? What's before boomers?
Also, make sure you watch Battle of the Generations on CTV. This has been a good battle here this evening. Jake Mayer after a great return by Clark Barnes in a very nice spot. Tommy Stevens into the game here, though, and look at Stevens go as he takes that snap and instantly knew where he was headed, to the far side of the field, and a nice pickup on 1st down.
It really is. I mean, quarterback sweep with a 260-pound quarterback that can get it done. That's a nice way to get you in 2nd and manageable. The real turn of events here. The Riders were in field goal range. They took a loss. They lost their quarterback, and then a big return on the miss. Calgary's poised to score here.
Third trip to the red zone today. Cashed in both of the other times. Mayer back in the game. Gives it to Mills. And Mills has enough for a Calgary first down.
Trying to grind the clock down there. With a play like that, you get 2nd and 3. Dedrick Mills good for that. That takes time off the clock. They blow it in now, and the time becomes the enemy for the Riders, for the home team.
They can hold them to 3 here. That could go a long way.
Oh, yeah, big.
1st and 10 for Mayer. Mills stands into his quarterback's right. Mayer, far side. That is hauled in. Odom's Dukes right at the first down marker.
Timing, protection, and he's got options. Bagleton on a crosser. Odom's Duke got a little separation on Amari Henderson. And that lead shoulder, very accurate throw from Mayer. Lead shoulder right at Odom's Duke. Textbook.
2nd and inches for Mayer. Inside the 5, working from the Rider 3. He'll give it to Mills. Mills towards the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Calgary. Dedrick Mills, 3rd of the season. And the Stampeders increase their lead.
All this set up by the big missed field goal return by Clark Barnes, and you know, the Calgary Stampeders just take that momentum and they roll with it. Tommy Stevens with a big run. A couple of runs by Dedrick Mills. One real nice accurate throw to Odom's Dukes, and put 6 on the board.
Great field position to start it. Wasted no time punching one in. And a game that if Walther was able to hit that field goal would have been tied. Instead, Paredes puts one home, and Calgary now leading by 10 with 5:06 left. Jake Mayer, a couple of touchdown passes, 230 yards through the air today. That time he just handed it off to that man, Dedrick Mills.
A couple big blocks up front. You're going to see Bryce Bell come down. Now, Bryce Bell doesn't have a guy in front of him, so he's got to go to the next lever and get to Larry Dean, number 11. He gets to Larry Dean, they've got a chance. 66, and there it is. Right there, that allows Dedrick Mills to take it off the edge, and then he's just going to bounce and get into the end zone. But one of the best run stoppers in the league is Larry Dean, and Bryce Bell took care of that.
Take care of Larry Dean and you'll probably be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Micah Alway the other way.
Now the Riders, maybe their best hope would be another return from Mario Alford.
See, we talk about the O-line when they don't get a penalty.
Hickson and Alford back and waiting. If you're just joining us, that man, Mario Alford, has returned 2 punts for touchdowns today. And this one will come to him at the 10. Alford looking for space. Mario Alford staying on his feet momentarily. Out to the 41, though. Pretty good field position as the Riders look to answer this touchdown drive from Calgary.
Long field goals, you have bigger guys trying to protect for the kick first, and then they have to try and cover on a miss. That's always the risk in Canadian football with the long field goals, because there's so much room, 65-yard wide field, and you miss when you got big guys trying to cover, you get a big return. That set up excellent field position, and Dedrick Mills finishes it off.
Mason Fine in the Riders offense. Starting on their own 41, down 10. Fine misses Bain. That's high and incomplete. He was working against Dozier. Well, a huge opportunity here for Mason Fine.
Yeah, and it certainly is. I mean, that's where your young quarterbacks that have been in the room all through the year, they Hope they can step in and run the offense. Now, Kelly Jeffrey called probably slightly different plays in some ways for Fine, some of the things that he likes.
Morrow out into the slot, empty backfield for Fine. Three-man rush. Fine looking to his right now. He'll take off. Stays on his feet. He's got a first down and more. Mason Fine inside the 50. And eventually it's Alway who tries to take his head off. But a huge pickup for Fine. 22 yards for the quarterback.
Boy, he's got some speed too. He can run when he gets out there. It looked like someone had him. Didn't see the number of who had him. He just kind of jumps out of this tackle.
Timeout, Saskatchewan.
Darius Williams and a little adjustment of the equipment, and Mike Alway tracks him down, but not until he has big gain and a first down.
Riders taking a timeout to let Fine catch his breath here with just under 4 minutes remaining.
Also taking the timeout before the 3-minute warning.
Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes, 8 seconds.
Because if you don't use your timeout before it, you only get one timeout after it, so you lose it anyway.
So if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah. So excellent
reset here for Fine.
Decision and gives Mason Fine a chance to catch his breath.
Great game and for returners. Calgary 210 yards returning. Riders at 233 in this game.
It's Canadian football, baby.
Oh, it's fun to watch. I love it. Working from the Calgary 45. Down by 10. Clock reset to 4:08. Here's Fine, some pressure this time. Gets it away, and that was Jones trying to one-hand it. Could not haul it in. Alway on his back. Man, has 57 in red and white been everywhere tonight.
Yes, he has. I mean, he's right now at 8 tackles, 1 special teams tackle. Maybe third game in a row over 10, and I'm not surprised that they blitzed, and they likely will again on this 2nd and long. See if Mason Fine can handle pressure.
That is updated to this point in this game, so Alway comfortably at the top of that list. Fine needing 10 more. More pressure again. Gets it out into the flat to his running back. And some room to go for Jamal Morrow up and out of bounds. But he takes it down just outside the Calgary 20. And the Riders have come up with some big plays on 2nd down. This one goes for 24.
Yeah, full blitz, and Morrow just escapes. Rather than look to pick up the blitz or try to block help, he gets out in space, and Fine finds him immediately. Sometimes you send the house and just say, let's see if they can find the open receiver. He found him.
Riders looking to get into the red zone for the first time tonight. Fine looking down the field, and that is hauled in. First catch of the game for Picton, and of course it's a big one.
Made a couple big ones against Edmonton, didn't he? Boy, they really praising Picton over the last couple of weeks about the big play ability. First of all, Morrow is going to pick up a block and a chip there on the blitz, and that helps Fine get that extra second to find Picton.
What a throw from Mason Fine. 1st and goal from the Calgary 6. Fine has Morrow flare up to the right. He gives it to him. Jamal Morrow looking for that far side. He's got it. Touchdown Riders. They're not done yet. Jamal Morrow takes it home.
Little discussion after this. We'll see what the officials are talking about. I think it's going to be against Calgary by the looks of it, but Morrow out there uncovered again.
Yeah, long discussion from the officials. Could be an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play is what we're being told. What a drive though for Mason Fine. 6 plays, 69 yards for Fine and his offense, and a couple of big plays from Jamal Morrow.
Well, 2 parts to it. Kelly Jeffrey calling plays to get Morrow out there when he anticipated the full-on blitz from Calgary with no one covering down on Morrow. But also also the poise of a young Mason Fine who goes in there, handles the pressures, keeps composed, and gets his back. I know they're high percentage throws. That's not a real hard throw to make on a swing pass, but you got to be poised and under control, and he's been thrown in this game after the injury to Trevor Harris.
The first touchdown of the season for Jamal Morrow could not have come at a better time for the Riders. Mason Fine, 4 of 6 for 43 yards. Touchdown, getting a look at the old iPad. Hoping to get this ball back.
We don't have pressure with that.
Long discussion continues. And now Justin McInnes will come over to chat.
Well, if it's against Calgary, they're talking to Craig Dickinson right now. And if against Calgary, they're giving Craig Dickinson the options as to when possibly they could take this penalty. Take it now, the extra point, or maybe take it on the kickoff.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Or maybe it's offsetting.
15-yard misconduct foul. Calgary, number 16. We have a 10-yard misconduct foul. Saskatchewan, number 19. The 5 yards will be put on the convert. Saskatchewan will try the convert.
Well explained.
Well explained. Let's just speed it up a little bit, but okay. There's the fight between the two receivers. They're slugging it out. Morrow already in the end zone.
So I'll take the 5 right here, and this will move it a little bit closer for Lothar to make it a 3-point ball game. Played a close one earlier this season, and another nail-biter here tonight as Lothar knocks that through. They were down 10. Fine finds Morrow, and he finds the end zone. Don't go anywhere. We got a guy who's been working with Mayer, ends up having an excellent first half, which leaves his coach still looking pretty chill on the sideline, actually.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're going to be real chill in this last 3 minutes either, coach. The two-brother combination going head-to-head yet again. It'll be another big finish between these two teams.
Well, this has been a night of kick returns, punt returns, missed field goal returns, and there's still just under 3 minutes left. Barnes takes it all the way back out to the 20, looking for a block on the far side of the field, and that is a nice return. Heavy collision at the end. You heard a pop on the far side of the field, but everybody bounces back up.
He fucking kicks up.
To the opposite side of the field to get that one.
Jake Mayer in the first half, 204 yards, 36 in the second half. And the whistles.
Timeout, Calgary.
Calgary forced to take a timeout. The crowd here to their feet.
Oh, that's a big one. That's because that's burning your timeout.
Confusion among the Stampeders. Mayer takes it. Pressure coming from the Riders. Mayer on the run. Finds the corner. Down the field. Got it. Reggie Begelton comes back to it, and he's still on his feet. Now they'll take him down. What a pass from Mayer, and what a catch from Begelton as he found himself wide open.
Yeah, he's found some confidence because you think back to the double overtime game, and it was a very similar play where Jake Mayer rolls out and he ended up throwing an interception on the play, and that sealed the win for the Riders, but he's not letting that one bug him. That's not in his head now. He gets outside again, throws against the flow because he had a wide open Beggleton who secured the catch more than anything.
92 yards for Beggleton in this football game. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Mayer pitches it out to Mills. Mills. Down. Pete Robertson delivers the final blow.
This is a West matchup. You tell by the physicality.
Timeout.
Not that they don't play physical in the East, too. It's just two Western rivals going at it, and Mills takes this little quick pitch, and Moncrief does the right thing to cut him off so that the pursuit inside out can get there. Big hit by Pete Robertson, so now it comes down to second and long.
The Riders have called a timeout.
This is usually Nick Marshall time, isn't it? Or has been the last couple of weeks. Make a big play.
Riders hoping to maybe hold Calgary to a field goal attempt here.
Give themselves a shot. I like screen draw.
Second and 9 for Mayer. Mayer near side. Has a completion. Odom's Dukes, but he's going to be held quite a ways short, and that'll bring up third down. And Paredes gets trotted out here to look for 3 more.
And a little closer for Paredes. Make sure that the Riders to come back in under 2 minutes now are going to have to score a major. He makes this. Boy, there was a great block on that last play by Dedrick Mills.
34-yarder for Paredes for a little bit of a cushion. Paredes just inside the right hash. And that one is up and through, and Calgary goes on top by 6 with 95 seconds left. Mario Alford, if there's one guy in the game that you wouldn't mind in a moment like this, he's your guy.
First half created a big 66-yarder and a huge return for a touchdown. Then called his shot, telling our Brit on the sideline, I'm going to get some more points in the second half. And man, he delivered. He walked it like he talked it.
Just the 10th time in CFL history that somebody returned 2 punts for touchdowns in the same game. Gizmo did it 3 times. Nobody has ever returned 3 punts for touchdowns. Now this will be a kickoff, so it won't count, but he'll take it, I'll tell you that.
3 returns for touchdowns works just the same for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So the question is, will Calgary even kick to him? This is the time where sometimes you'll see that squib kick where they try to drive it along the ground. So the middle section of the return team has to recover, and you keep it out of the hands of number 2.
I don't pretend to be a coach, but I probably wouldn't kick it to him. Nope. And they'll kick it over to Hickson. Hickson takes it just outside the 10. Hickson wrapped up immediately. And that is tightest wall down the field. And Mason Fine will trot out with a lot of field in front of him and a minute and a half to work with it.
Minute and a half, and where they are on the field, you're going to need a chunk play. Mason Fine's going to need like a 25, 30-yarder. Doesn't have to be on this play. Can set it up, and maybe it's a broken tackle on a short throw. But you need a chunk play this far back.
81-yard drive is what they'll need. 91 seconds to do it. Fine. Starts it well. That's a first down, and oh boy, a flag as well. Yeah. Watson was tied up, and Roberson hit him. And Calgary certainly cannot afford a play like that.
Yeah, defenseless receiver already being tackled, and Roberson comes up with a hit. Now, playing full speed, trying to come across and make a tackle, but led with his helmet and brought the forearm shiver too. So flag comes out, and they'll be tacked on another 15.
Ooh. Unnecessary roughness. Calgary, number 31. It's 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's a no-doubter. And it just made things very interesting. This ball has been placed on the Rider 54. Fine. With 4 options to his wide side right. On a 1st and 10. In trouble, taken down, flags on the play. Judge came flying around, was the first one to get to him, and then help came.
It's been a couple of matchups down the field between Jamal Morrow and Cam Judge.
Saskatchewan, number 64. That penalty is declined. Second down.
And there's been a couple in the backfield as well. And this is Cam Judge one-on-one on Morrow right here. And this time Cam Judge won. I told you he can cover down the field too, but he can also blitz. And this time he beats the block of Jamal Morrow and gets home.
6th sack of the game for the Calgary defense. 2nd and 18 for Fine. In trouble again. Taken down again. Calgary's defense delivers. Mike Rose's 2nd sack of the game.
Really nice spin by Mike Rose, who's going to come up the field here, working one-on-one with Evan Johnson. Spins out of that, and he gets the sack.
3rd and 24 to keep their slim hopes alive. 4-man rush. Fine. Escapes it. Now he's going to heave one down the field for Tevin Jones. He takes it to the end zone. Are you kidding me? Tevin Jones has tied the game at 30. Remarkable stuff. Ever tried at Mosaic Stadium.
Mason Fine knows that he has to get outside of the pocket to allow his receivers to get downfield, and Tevin Jones does it. The mistake made by Calgary is they try to intercept it rather than just knock the ball down.
Extra point from Lother is good. And the Riders go on top 31-30, but dare I say, 42 seconds left.
In this scenario, the Calgary defensive backfield's got to be thinking, hey, they're going to try and Hail Mary pass this. Just knock it down, and we've got them on downs. Way back in the other end of the field, they try to make the interception. Can't get there. It bounces off the hands. I think it was Moxie. Roberson there as well. And Tevin Jones says, thank you very much. Makes a man miss, and away he goes. And the Riders have a point lead.
We'd like to welcome our viewers from TSN 5, and I'd like to say you got here just in time, but you missed a lot. 31-30. When you thought that game earlier today could not be beat, the CFL delivers this.
Trying to calm down Moxie.
There's Barnes, who's been excellent in the return game so far today. This game far from over. 42 seconds left. Calgary down by just 1. Barnes takes it at the 16. Looking for a block. Won't get that far, just outside the 35.
One more look at Tevin Jones. Just keeping his composure. Moxie tries to play the ball and catch it. Two guys in front of that play, and all they had to do was knock it down. Craig Dickinson, you got to be kidding. Okay. Dave Dickinson, the brother, no. All right, Jake.
37 seconds to work here for Mayer. He's going to send one down the field for Michelle. And it's out of bounds, working against Nick Marshall, who locks him down.
Mayer taking a shot. Why not? Mark Michelle going against the guy who's finished 2 games in a row, one against them. He plays it well on the outside. That ball was thrown out of bounds there.
Stampeders 7 for 20 on second downs in this game. Mosaic crowd on its feet. Mayer needs at least 10. Has a completion up to the 50. Hakudavanu stays on his feet, gets up to midfield, and finally taken down. But with 21 seconds left, Calgary working their way towards field goal range.
Absolutely, with lots of time. I mean, you've got 3 plays here. You know, that was you know, if you're the Saskatchewan Roughriders, you can't play too soft. They're just looking for field goal range.
From the Rider 51. Mayer under pressure escapes out to his right on the run and wisely throws it away with 7 seconds on the clock. Ate up some time there.
That was big time by Jake Mayer. He understood that the time was running out. He started looking downfield briefly and thought, nope, I don't have time to mess around with a deep throw here, and threw it right into row 2. I think you're going to need Paredes to get another 5 yards and do it real quick.
No time to waste here for Mayer. Needs something quick. Paredes' career long 53 happened against the Riders earlier this season. Mayer with the clock ticking, throws it quickly, completion, gotta get down, and they do! With 3 seconds left, it's Odom's deuce. And Paredes will have a chance to win it.
I think Coach Dickinson liked that throw by Mayer. Stood in there, crowd going crazy. You can't even hear yourself or anybody around you. And he's put Paredes in field goal range.
It'll be 50 on the nose for Paredes.
And you got to get it out if you miss. If he misses, Saskatchewan's got to return and get it out of there. Mario Alford back.
They got the right guy to do it.
Mario Alford back if they miss.
Paredes from 50 for the win. It's up, and it is good! Paredes walks it off, and the Stampeders walk away with a thriller at Mosaic.
No lead is safe. 40 seconds. Calgary gets into field goal range after the miraculous touchdown catch from Tevin Jones, and wins by 2. Take a look at the snap, the hold, and money from one of the veteran top kickers in the Canadian Football League. Rennie Paredes settles in right through. Great follow through. Right down the middle. That was a roller coaster. I don't think that was a chill moment right there in that last minute and a half, 2 minutes for either one of these coaches. But what an entertaining football game. Now we just cross our fingers for Trevor Harris. Hope that it's not as bad.